Okay, whenever you're ready.
All right. So the theater was built in the mid 1800s. And the space was actually so large, they actually had to raise the street up by 4 feet. People flocked to it from absolutely all over. They had live theater here, and it was known as the Huntington Opera House. They did operas all the way from non-musical shows or straight shows, all the way to operas, and it sat over 1,500 people. Now, on the first floor was kind of the, I guess, concession, or not concession, but like lobby area for everyone. They had like newspaper stands, they had a grocery, they had a drugstore, the whole 9 yards, and it's where people gathered and met. The second floor was actually the stage, and they also had a mezzanine. And then when we got to the third floor was for meeting spaces. Third floor is where a lot of people met, including Freemasons. Do you guys know what Freemasons are? Okay, so for those who don't know, Freemasonry, essentially, since you don't know, Freemasons was men teaching men how to be men. A lot of people did compare Freemasonry. They did say that there was possible, bloodletting. They said there was possible sacrifice, possible orgy, that type of stuff. Now, we have speculation that it's possible that they did that type of stuff here. If you guys look at the Greek structure in colleges, they get a lot of that from Freemasonry as well. It was kind of taken all from the Greek structure, the Parthenons and all that kind of stuff. So all of that happened here, and also there were apartments above all of that. So this place was just one giant meeting place for everyone. Unfortunately, in 1901, it burned completely to the ground. The entire theater, the apartments, drugstore, absolutely everything. So there are 3 boys who were possibly at fault for the burning of the theater. They do not really know if those 3 boys started the fire, but they do know that unfortunately those 3 boys' lives were completely ruined after the fire. They actually moved out of Huntington because of the blame that they got. Fortunately, no one died in the fire, luckily. Everyone was evacuated from their apartments, everything was fine. Then the theater, they just kind of mulled over a little bit, and then in the mid-19-teens, they reopened with basically the structure that we stand in now. And they made it a lot smaller. There used to be a mezzanine before it was plexed, but then Dave kind of like took all that kind of stuff down. And as you'll see, there's kind of a lot of different artistic styles in the theater, and what ended up happening was it was bought, and then it was passed down, and there was a fire in the mid-1930s. Actually, in the mid-1920s, it was bought by Andy Gamble from Altoona. Gamble was really well known for his businesses, and Andy Gamble had a lot of casinos, he had a lot of money, and he decided to put his money into this place. Unfortunately, he only had the space for a year. 6 months into him owning the space, the building caught on fire, and he had to give his business to the other theater that was behind us, and sell tickets that way to put any sort of revenue into the structural damage that was caused due to that fire. So after a year, he sold the place. And then in the 1930s, it was bought by Blackford, and then Blackford also had a small fire that closed it down for a couple of days. And then Blackford owned the building. After Blackford, it was sold to Kalos in the mid-60s, and Kalos had it for quite some time, and a lot of interesting things happened here when Kalos was here. We had the Great Flood in 1972. Now, no one in the theater died in the Great Flood of 72, but the water level was so high that Theater 2 was actually completely submerged. And once you go down there, you'll just see kind of how high the seats are and all that kind of stuff. And then also he showed Night of the Living Dead here, and it was actually, people rioted, and I don't know if it was rioted because they were excited or they rioted because it was terrible or whatever it was, but he had to call the police because they were shaking the ticket booth so bad. He had to call the police. There was also a bomb threat that was made into the theater, and then that person called back and said, "Ha ha, joke." So there's just been a lot of energies that have happened over the years, and now after Kalos, it was sold to our now owner, David Peoples, who bought it in the mid-1970s. His first movie was E.T. David is the one who plexed the place, which that means put the walls up. So originally, you guys just saw a movie over here in 3. 1 is the exact same, and then you'll see in 2 all the other seats. There used to be no walls. It was just one movie theater screen. So Dave put all that up in the mid-90s, and then he also added theaters 4 and 5. Ghostly phenomenon that happens here. This is the staircase that everyone has speculated, everyone has seen the lady in red. So when David first bought the building, he had employees come to him and say that they have seen a lady in red go up and down these stairs, and she disappears when she gets to the top. We tend to think that she is actually an actress just because of, one, how she's dressed, and two, the theater was on the second floor. And this was an area to where a lot of richer clientele would usually use the stairs to go up to the mezzanine, and then also it connected in the back hallway, and actors would use that to go down behind the stage. So her presence is very much felt still. There's just kind of a lot of times that we get a strong female energy, especially down in Theater 2. And also in Theater 2, there's a lot of shadow entities that seem to go in and out of the of the doorways, of the aisleways. Also, Edward Lorenz, really a name for all of you to remember tonight. See if you can try to contact him. I think Edward Lorenz is actually still in Theater 2. So Edward Lorenz was a scenic artist for the Huntington Opera House. And basically he was from the Philadelphia area, and he would train here, stay in a hotel, and then he would do all the scene art for the Huntington Opera House's shows, I guess for the season, whatever they had planned out, that he would do scenes and he would go back home. Well, he was here one night, he finished up whatever he was doing for that show, and he was supposed to train back the next day. Well, he got to his hotel, went to bed, never woke up. And they said he died due to gas exposure. And it was either due to the fact that there was something wrong with the line, or that he never blew out his candle that night, like fell asleep and it blew out, and he died due to gas exposure. So the last place Edward Lorenz remember being is here. So I think when I was talking to you guys earlier about the taps we hear in Theater 2 that's on the stage, I think that's Edward Lorenz. I think that is him still doing sets, because he would paint, he would do all sorts of other stuff. And Theater 1 is where we get a lot of women, actually only women thus far, get grabbed. Women tend to get grabbed in Theater 1. There are theories as to what it could be. We have been told that it was an entity, like possibly something summoned from the Freemasons. Great unknown. Possibly something summoned from the Freemasons, because you got to remember, like, they were technically spiritualists. And then my personal theory is that if you guys remember in the 1940s, what were women's jobs in movie theaters? Cigars, cigarettes. They would walk up and down aisles, and men would grab them to get their attention. So sometimes I think, especially in the 1920s, all that kind of stuff, we did have April Bissett here, and she had said that she feels that whatever's in 31 is a dirty, greasy, nasty man, and he grabs women because he knows that it's disgusting and it's what turns him on. Back here in 4 and 5, the 4 is definitely one of our most active, absolutely active theaters. Are we sure exactly of what it is? No, but like I said before, I like to say that it is Jimmy Jones. So Jimmy Jones, as we discussed before, Jimmy Jones was a very prolific person here in Huntington. He was the manager of this theater and the theater behind, and he did a lot of work. And a good friend of ours came in to see a movie, and he actually came in to see President's Day, The Purge President's Day. He went into the theater. Oh, it was election year. I said President's Day, didn't I? Oh, good Lord. It's because I'm on camera. He came in to see election year, and his story says that he went in, he sat down, movie started, he noticed that there was someone sitting in the front row on the far right-hand side. We actually call that the hot seat. And obviously he's in a movie theater, didn't think much about it. When the movie was playing, there was a scene that lit up the theater, and he noticed that the person was gone. So he thought, just probably walked right by me, didn't even notice. So he made sure to pay attention. A couple minutes went by, another scene lit up the theater, and the guy was sitting right back in the seat. So he freaked out, calmly walked out of the theater, went to our manager at the time, Nadine, and said, whatever's in there is fucked up, and left. And to this day, like when he tells the story, he says it's possible he could have just maybe seen a shadow of something, but he said the energy in that theater told him to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And he swears by that.
And RJ's a very serious, he's a CEO, he's a very calm, collected human being.
Yeah.
Freaked out.
I do want to show you guys. I'm trying to give you guys a quick tour here. So we lock this from this side, as you can see by this lock right here. And the reason why we do that is because this hallway goes out to our alleyway where we put out our trash. And sometimes that door does not always close. Sometimes we don't pull it well enough, and that, God forbid, someone gets in from the other side. They cannot access the rest of the theater. Over here on the right side, we keep all of our brooms, all that kind of stuff to clean the theater. And there was one time that this one came in to open and opens the door, and all the brooms and vacuums are pushed in front of the door.
Also the one that closed. So I closed down here by myself. Opened up the next day, and all the brooms and dustpans were here, and it leaned forward when I opened the door and fell on me. And there's no way anybody could have gotten to this building. I was the last one here, and I was the first one to open. And I was here before anybody else. There's no way I could have just done that.
Hallway light is on right up here on the far right hand side, up by the ceiling there. And there was one time, and this is told on 2 different accounts, that you had come in, you had opened, you had turned on the light, you had fumbled, almost dropped your phone.
I did drop my phone.
You did drop your phone. She bent over to pick it up, and she looked up, and
I saw a woman run from this side all the way across. When we went to go down there to look, there's a doorway.
there's an old
We never
doorway.
knew there was a doorway there. It's all boarded up. And now we've ripped around down the wall to find what's back there, and you can see the outside wall.
Yeah, it's just a bricked up wall right now. But I had Terry from Bearded Paranormal. I never told her any of this before. I never really told her about the woman or anything such as that. And when we got to that doorway, she had said, "Oh, she's from upstairs." And I was like, so I proceeded to tell her about this ghost girl that has been seen twice, one by another old employee. He had claimed to have seen a shadow figure do the exact same thing that she said, but he felt that it was a female presence. And I said, well, okay. And to me, it didn't make sense. I said, well, nothing's really happened upstairs. It's been apartments. She was like, no, I feel that she's an actress. And none of that made sense to me until I was doing further research and realized that the stage was the 2nd floor. So is it possible that this doorway used to lead to an area to where they actually went upstairs to access the back end of the theater itself? Because all of this used to still belong to the theater.
It's a different building. That's also why it's blocked off.
Yeah.
These are 2 different buildings.
Yeah, they're 2 different buildings now. And from what I understand, just from the research that I have done at one point, because they were all kind of interconnected with the theater. So is it possible the old general manager, Jimmy Jones, is it possible that there was an area back here that was like a stage manager's office or just even an office for a manager? Possibly. That's, I think, maybe why he hangs out here so often. That's the only thing that I can think of. Now, I also know that in the projection booth, sometimes when you're standing in 4 and you can look into the little window, there are blue lights in there that signify that the machines are off and all that kind of stuff. They do not turn off, but you will see them fade and then come back almost as someone is walking in front of them. Happens every time.
And it's a very popular thing to say.
Yeah.
And we've tried to recreate it. It only recreates when somebody walks in and blocks the way.
Yeah, so we can't really debunk it. We've tried. And also in 4, we've heard people talking from the outside hallway when we're doing investigations. And it's not just 1 or 2 people. It's like a gaggle of people talking.
Yeah.
We've opened the exit door. There's no one out in the back hallway. None of that.
There's cameras everywhere, so we'd see if somebody was out there talking.
So we get a lot of that. There's also a lot of tapping, a lot of...
I feel a dog here. It's like the greatest thing.
Yeah, and also there's been moments to where we have been doing investigations and you have orbs fly in front of the camera and you can say, fly closer, and you will see orbs come straight into your camera. Yeah, and you won't see them in your light.
Tell it to go this way, they will.
Where's the dog usually located? Anywhere? Or?
4.
4 is usually
Yeah,
where you get the
because a
dog.
lot of people have felt breezes by their ankles, and I have been in there. I've done investigations, and I've been in there watching a movie before, and we've heard dogs barking, and the upstairs neighbors do not have animals. We think they have cats.
Yeah,
possibly,
they have cats. They have 2 cats,
but they don't have dogs.
Yeah, they don't have dogs.
And
They
we've
don't have
heard dog
dogs.
barking numerous times. We were here growling. And we didn't know what that sound was. And of course, when you hear growling in an investigation, you're like, oh. But then a friend of mine, before he knew about the dog or anything such as dog, he said to him it sounded like a dog snoring. And that was, you know, the same article that you guys read, that the dog had died in the fire, which now we know is not true, but at the same time, it doesn't mean the animal spirit is not here. Also, the back hallway is very active. All of us, except Dylan, we've had stuff thrown at us back there. We've tried to debunk it numerous times. We've physically have had washers and little nuts thrown at us off of the paint table, because you can hear them hit the ground, and then when you try to recreate it, it's like, what in the world? And then there's also just a very dark presence in that hallway itself, towards the back. Historical accuracies are concerned. Unfortunately, we haven't found anything citing deaths on the property. But that's kind of...
I work every day of my life. I'm sure if I die, I will come back here. This is part of my life. I'm here all the time.
And then we also have the attic. Now, like I said before, we haven't really experimented or investigated the attic so much, but I do know there's a couple times Kirsten and I, there's a part of the attic to where it has stairs that go up above Theater 2.
Yeah.
And I have heard people... Yeah, and you can't...
I'll show you.
Yeah, she'll show you, but it's not safe because it's literally like...
I won't even go up there.
Yeah, it's just like plywood, and then it's a whole bunch... Not plywood, but...
Planks of wood.
Planks of wood that you walk across, you can fall through and literally fall to your death into the seating, and that's too much. That was a click. Yeah, there was a click right behind me. But Kirsten and I both have heard footsteps come down those wooden steps and then stop at the door that's right there. And there's no one there. I sat up there for 3 days and cleaned that attic. And on the last day when I was like, I think I've dodged.
Yeah.
And I was like, say what? You know, because we didn't, you know, the attic's not really that creepy, you know, but that was an experience. So yeah, all sorts of things kind of happen around here. So, but yeah. For like an hour. Let's say you're on the main as well. I'm gonna hit the bathroom lights in. Sorry, but you're okay. Don't worry about the asbestos. You signed a waiver. And who locked this up?
I don't know.
The ghost did.
Probably. So to get upstairs, you have to climb this ladder. I can go up first if you guys do want to come up, and you can see out into 2.
Yeah.
Dude,
do you have a
that's
light?
cool.
You're gonna step over to this side.
To the right side.
Yeah.
This goes up.
Oh, it's so
So this
cool.
used to be the really old mezzanine seating, like back in the day.
Oh, okay.
That's exciting.
And it's no longer used as mezzanine seating. It's just kind of storage, but it goes up into Theater 2, and you can look out into Theater 2.
Okay, record me. That's cool.
But this ladder's been here since like the 1900s, so it's very sturdy. But just when you go up, step to the right, hun. It's more open to the right.
It opens up back there. Where
Yeah.
you can see more.
And the left is more narrow. Your butt looks great.
Yeah, you look awesome.
Open up. Here, I'll show you.
I can't say
When
that.
she gets up.
Jason will hurt me.
I'm gonna take down the board.
I'm gay, it doesn't matter.
It's just this.
She's just like, I'm gonna rip this sucker off.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you're on the 2. Oh. You can go above 2. You can go above the ceiling.
What?
Yeah. This building's old. Has so many cracks and crevices. You can go. I'll take you back to 4 in the projection room. But the floor opens up. You can jump down to the original floor.
That's so cool. That is neat.
If you just love history, this building's cool.
Yes, yeah.
You know, even if it's not about paranormal, this building itself
that's
is very cool.
It is very neat.
That's part of the best part of investigating too.
Yeah.
Seeing like old buildings.
Yeah, and you get
like,
to experience part of the
It's,
past.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, I heard that. No way. Can you do that again? Were you guys? Where?
Remind me to turn the heat back on before we leave. Okay, so.
Y'all just missed the REM pod going off.
Oh no.
But Colin, before
We
we
got
start,
it on
Yes.
camera. We got it on camera.
Yes, go right ahead. Do you have the cat balls? Can I move it for you? Okay, can I move them onto the spaces? Yeah, underneath of the stage is where I get a lot of my EVPs for the lady in the back.
Alright, I gotta get.
So if you guys want to come up on the stage, just to show you guys a little. You guys want to come up here real quickly? Just because I love going to the stage, I don't want to miss it, to be honest. So, through these aisleways where we get a lot of shadow figures, also we'll get breezes come across the stage. So, there was one time, if you guys want to sit, if you want to, you don't have to, so the reason sometimes I have people sit is because I was doing a tour in here one time and I was just tired. I was like, let's sit down. And there was a rumble across the stage, almost like someone ran. And I didn't say anything at first. And I looked at the girls and they all looked at me. I said, did you guys feel that? And the one girl looks at her friend and goes, I just thought she farted. And her friend was like, no, I didn't. And it was like we all felt the rumble underneath of our tushes of like someone running across the stage. So also, one thing I want to try, so I recommend maybe like showing some skin a little bit to see if we can, so there's something that I do in here that gets breezes, and I want to know if you guys can feel it as well.
Yeah, you can get that.
If that makes sense. So stand right up there by the steps for me. So this was a stage that was performed on a lot. And I've noticed that sometimes when I actually perform on the stage, we'll get breezes across the stage. Now normally what I end up doing is I'll just kind of wave my arms because that's where I'm feeling it from. Now these fans up above us, they really do not produce enough air to push down and to actually blow a breeze. So normally there's like people sitting behind me and stuff, but I want to see if you guys can feel the breezes, so I'm not going to wave my arms. But if you feel something,
I feel like the basement over there.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
You okay? What? Oh, cat ball's going off. Now here's the thing.
Is that why you walked away from the cat ball?
Yeah.
Now wait.
It's on something.
I know, but look. Oh well.
Yeah.
Were you right here?
I was, it could be.
I'm getting a breeze. You getting a breeze?
And step really hard for me. So it's not here. It's a little something that I do, and I was actually, I was going to do something different, but then I was like, it's the same thing I always do, so maybe I should keep it consistent, right? Is that correct?
Sure.
Alright.
What?
Should I keep it consistent or switch it up?
What?
It's a song.
I say consistent.
Consistent?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. There's a horizon. If you got there, all the troubles there are you. Someday we'll go to Salu. Sala,
Oh my God.
I got some troubles finding my way there, and I close it disappears. If you get there, where I stay there, everything's not nice, everything's not serious. I'm not sure how it will be, all I do, troubles will be through, and I'll be home with you. Sala, salu. Sala, salu, sala, salu. Sala, salu, sala, salu. I'll be home with you. So there was activity.
Oh, yeah,
Someone was touching me, my back someone was 100% touching my back. I see a shadow come down the aisle. I wasn't sure if it was Dan or not though.
And the REM pod.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
because
that
of the
Yeah.
pod.
Okay, yeah, well, I saw a shadow.
For sure.
That's why I hit
That
the
REM
thing.
pod was going up on its own, no one was near it.
Even if you walk, I don't think it. Can you?
No
walk?
one was near it.
No one was near it.
Yeah, I moved.
Oh, okay.
Is
No.
it in the side of the camera? The camera sees the
Yes.
REM pod? Okay.
Yeah, the camera's right there. No, because that's why I came over this way, because I felt something.
If it's reaching over there, it'll get the shadow.
Okay, good.
As long as it's reaching over there.
That was like the most exciting. Normally it's just breezes.
No, it was like, I'm literally like standing here and this is what I was feeling. Like I felt like,
Oh.
that's what I get when a spirit touches me.
Now my question is, did it feel like, my question is if there was a child behind you,
It was right here.
so it would be child height is what I
I'm
because
not-
I feel normally, so my thing is that that's what's in the Broadway world, that's what's called a lullaby song, and like every show has one. It's just kind of the slower, think of, what was that?
I think it's me.
Oh, right, okay. I think of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It's the lullaby song
Yeah.
in each show. And I have done a majority of different things that show off like vocal talent, but they seem to like the lullabies. That's kind of what gets some
Can we?
things
I'm
amped.
not lying. Can we switch the song and have different people stand on the stage?
Yeah, we can. I know, I'm just trying to think of anything lullaby-ish that's... Yeah, I don't really know the words.
But I did
It's so
wanna-
fast, it's
This is the
not
first
hard
time I think we get the
to-
one
so,
Yeah.
Like yeah, actually, we saw.
Yeah,
That's
it's like,
cool.
you ran over this way.
see.
That was 100% not good. They ran over the roof.
I know.
Apparently. And I'm trying to think of good songs too. I'm like, I don't know that.
Somewhere over the rainbow,
Maybe it'll push you, so you stop.
way up high.
Alright, my ears are bleeding.
Shut up.
That wasn't actually that bad.
Okay, let's have a lullaby song.
Jen.
I was really sorry.
I wish I knew something. Then
That's
we could do like
because
a
the things are-
production. We could
He
do that.
opened up the door down there, so
But I
there's a
don't
breeze
know
coming.
Broadway song.
I wanna be where the people are,
I love Pokemon.
walking around.
What do you call that again?
So you said underneath they get EVPs?
I do, yes.
Up where they walk.
Where they?
I should put one down there and just let it go.
You're not gonna
Well, if we're, I feel that if you come down here, please be extremely careful. You signed a waiver, so just, don't injure yourselves.
I already tripped over Tombstone, dislocated my shoulder, and I didn't
my
see anything,
God.
okay?
Well, you could if we were trespassing.
So you're gonna have to get on your butt and stand, or your hands and knees, whatever works for you, however you want to do it.
However you comfortable.
Nice.
Is the lady in red with us?
Do you dance here often?
Did you like Colin singing?
Can you make the REM pod go off for us?
What's going on earlier?
Can we come hang out?
Could you run across the stage? How about Edward Lorenz? Is Edward Lorenz with us? Is there some part of the set you need to work on? Could you tap for us? Edward, how late are you here working on stuff? Nope, hello. Did you guys hear that?
Yep.
Edward, do you need to go back to your hotel? Is your train leaving tomorrow? Oh, okay. What happened? Edward, is that you? If you would like to come to the center of the stage and maybe make, this red light, I think it needs to be fixed. Could you fix it? It needs to be used for the next show. If you could help us put it up, that'd be great. Son of a crack whore, really?
Can you do it again, please?
Edward,
sure it's
you just
working.
need to pick it up a little bit more for me, okay? But you gotta get real close to it. But we need help. We need help with it. Well, I didn't expect it to go off. That still surprises me.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you said son of crack. Wait.
There's people talking in the lobby. That's me tapping. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on. That's me tapping. So make. Edward, is that you in the lobby? You guys hear people talking, right?
I don't hear
Do you still hear people talking?
No, it was, but when I went to go leave to go check the lobby, it went off.
Yeah, but it doesn't really go off by like you can't.
I know that's why I tapped on the railing
So you
over
did it
here to
again.
see if maybe it was me, because I couldn't see my way.
No, like it wouldn't go off by that.
Yeah.
It has to. It's by
Maybe he
energy.
did that to stop
Nope.
you. He did it again.
Oh, it's not on, it's on
Like,
again.
if you want to talk to
Yeah.
us, come set the light off.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Edward, I have to go. But I mean, to get me to stay, you could just light that up again a couple more times, like keep it on. But other than that, I hear people in the hallway. I hear customers. I should probably go check on them. Is that okay?
If your name's Edward, can you light it up green?
That's me. Sarah right there.
If someone's else here, maybe that's what it was.
If your name's not Edward, can you light it up? Trying to do intelligent responses, but
I know.
oh, so you're not Edward.
There's no one in the lobby.
There's no one in the lobby.
Maybe you're crazy.
Okay. You heard it too, bitch.
I heard it for like a second.
But you heard it.
But I couldn't actually.
Ask you some questions.
Thank you.
It's almost like
You're welcome.
It's like
Like,
you're
welcome.
welcome. Okay. Are you a female? Once for yes. Twice for no.
You guys are hearing the tapping, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just-
You don't want to answer our questions now? Or am I not asking the right ones?
No, not about this.
Did you used to perform here?
Did you not want to talk to us now? Do you want us to leave?
Edward, are you still with us? Are you still working?
We should go to Theater 4 since you don't want to talk.
That.
Yeah, I want to say theater 4.
Alright, I'm down.
That's you said most active?
It is.
Since you're not talking to us anymore.
Can you make that ball light up again?
Gianna has the headset on, just so you know. No, she's fine. No, just that when she starts shouting out stuff, you're gonna be like, "What?"
It's gotta load up though. Didn't start yet. Betty?
Is your name Betty? I'm tired, Betty.
How old are you?
38. Where are you from?
Did you die at 38?
I'll be back. People here like me? Oh, weird. It was me.
What's your name?
Before.
Before when? Are you from Florida? Did you come over to 5? Why?
Yes.
What made you come all the way over here?
Yes.
What made you come all the way over here for? What happened before? Did someone chase you out?
Heard you sing.
What?
Are you male or female?
I'm old.
Girl, me too. Good to know.
How old are you?
Female. What's that?
Investigation.
Do you like to talk to us?
What's your name?
Lily.
Lily?
Your name's Lily.
Lily, are you a 38-year-old woman?
42. Who, me?
Can you try and light up our toys? If you light up one of our balls, that will really validate that you are here.
I can't.
Why not? Do you like people in here with you?
Yes, always. You like me? Yes, sorry. I'll do it again. Get your REM pod?
Why? Can you touch the REM pod?
Do you want to touch our REM pod?
I tried.
If first you don't succeed, brush yourself off and try again. Dust yourself off and try again, try again. Do you like my singing?
Hmm? Oh.
He's sleeping.
I swear to God, I'm like falling asleep or something, and I'm just like waking up in like a Twilight Zone.
Is someone sleeping?
No.
Oh, because she's like, he's sleeping.
No, I'm not.
Who said she's
No?
sleeping?
Jana said it.
Oh. Maybe it was me.
I said he.
Oh.
Could fool me.
I like you, Lily.
Spunk.
You're funny. Tell me something about you. What color's your hair?
Brown?
What color outfit are you wearing?
Silver?
Are you wearing a dress?
Yes.
Are you visiting? Are you attending an opera?
Yeah.
Are you performing at this opera?
Intermission.
Lily, what color are your eyes?
Green.
Oh, this is nuts. What color are your shoes?
Silver.
Yo,
Yeah, like spot on.
this is nuts.
Lily, is there anyone with you?
No.
Are you here alone then?
Yeah.
Do you get lonely?
No.
No.
Are there any animals here?
Just people.
Just people?
Just no animals, huh? Just people?
How many of us live in this room?
6.
Yeah, there's 6 of us in here. Lily, can you see what color my boots are? Do you like my boots?
Tan?
Well, they're close. The fact that it even said a color, though, is pretty wild.
The president, Lily.
Don't know. Theodore?
Oh my God. I asked who the president was. She said Theodore. What year is it, Lily?
Why can't you touch the ball?
I don't want to.
Why are you here, Lily?
Nice place.
Oh my God. Did something bad happen to you here?
No.
How did you pass?
Nice people.
Nice people. Lily's very chatty.
Like traffic with a horn.
It's weird. Were you in a car accident, Lily?
Do you want to tell us anything?
I like movies.
What's your favorite movie?
Can't understand.
So do you watch the movies a lot?
Yep. Charlie Chap.
Charlie's Chap something.
Isn't he? Yeah, isn't he like an
Right.
old?
Old film.
Yeah, like an old actor, right?
Yeah, Charlie Chaplin was, I want to say, mid-teens.
Do you stay here all the time or do you leave?
Move around. Climb. Walk.
Are there other spirits in the building with you?
Oh yeah. Many.
Who's your favorite spirit?
Edward.
Is there an Edward here?
Yeah, in the theater, right? Yes.
Is he the guy who's
Steve. Tresha.
What's the woman who wears red's name?
Grace.
Grace?
Is Grace a singer?
Yes.
Lily, who's your favorite singer?
A hero. That was a little kid. She said something, I can't make it out.
Did you enjoy Colin's singing earlier?
Ask me a different question.
In a car accident, Lily?
That's how I died.
What'd she say?
Sorry, Dad.
I'm sorry.
My parents.
Your parents? What about your parents?
They were with me.
They're with you now?
I'm like covered in goosebumps.
Sent with me.
Thank you for talking with us.
Welcome.
Did you enjoy talking to us?
Sure.
Wonderful. Yeah. We should have started with Theater 5 to begin with.
She's extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
See you.
She's saying goodbye.
See you too.
Sad.
Are you sad? I don't want you to be sad.
Sound person's a creep.
Sound person's a creep?
I don't know what that means.
Maybe like part of the theater group?
The person in room 1.
Is the man in theater 1 a creep?
Oh yeah.
What's his name?
More gruesome. Thatcher.
Yeah.
Thatcher. That's an unusual name.
That's a creepy name though.
Thatcher the Hatcher.
All right, Lily, it was wonderful talking with you, but we have to leave. Maybe come back and speak with you again sometime?
Sorry to see you go.
Oh. Thank you. That just made my night. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Bye, Lily. That was cool.
What the fuck?
It's 5 o'clock.
Extremely intelligent responses.
Really?
Yeah,
Extremely.
that was incredible.
Hardcore.
You heard
Really?
the honking of the horn and everything?
Yeah, there was like a horn, like.
I said, were you in a car accident? And then you said, that's how I died.
Sweet. Really?
Yeah.
Like
I
there
mean,
was
it
a
was a
horn
couple-
outside. There was like cars and like
No.
traffic and.
That's
No,
what-
you said that you heard like cars or a horn or something.
Yeah, she said a horn outside. There was traffic.
She was killed in a car accident, and her parents
You
were
said
with her.
accident.
Yeah.
That's why she said my parents were with me.
Oh.
I asked her what color hair she had, brown. What color eyes, brown.
Dress silver, shoes silver.
Sweet. Really?
Yeah, like incredible responses.
Really?
Yes,
I don't know if I've heard this one.
like to a T.
Awesome.
Like, that's gonna be really good.
I can't wait to hear the fucking
That whole
thing.
session